idea of this legalized gambling, and it's spreading in the States, and everything that's happening right now, you think that's changing the games? You think there are situations where spread's not going to be made, and it's because somebody is doing it, they've been paid
Well, I think
off?
everybody in the country spent all their time gambling, flipping coins against each other. Somebody would win 20 times in a row, every, million times or something like that. And you have 330 million people doing it. You've got 330 people that call the coin flip correct or something. I mean, the urge to participate in something where it looks like easy money it's a human instinct which has been unleashed. It was always there. I mean, and when my dad was in Congress in the House office building, I could go to the elevator and yell "Sammy," and the guy would come up to take numbers bets, which were illegal, on the fourth floor of the House office building. And it's people love the idea of getting rich quick. I don't blame them, but I've always wanted to get rich slow, and I have a lot of fun along the way. But I'm not immune from it. I've bet on football games. I made one wager at the sports book in Nevada, and I was out there with a couple of friends, and I went up and bet on Nebraska against it. And about 10 people got up behind me and said, "I'll have what he's having." It's kind of like Meg Ryan in the movie. And so they had a very unbalanced book when they got through that day, and I got 500. My 550, and I made a profit of 500 on it, and I had somebody else cash the tickets. It's so human, and once unleashed, you can't put it back in the bottle. And something like Bitcoin, it is something. It's a gambling token, and it doesn't have any intrinsic value. And Larry Summers was on a week ago and said it doesn't have any value. I mean, it doesn't have any value, but that doesn't stop people from wanting to play a roulette wheel and think that if there's 37, 1 0 and or double zero, and it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, it makes a difference, and it just scores how fast it eats up your money if you spend the rest of your life spinning around a roulette wheel. But they feature the winners, and people get excited about it, and that's why the slot machines make a lot of noise when they're paying out. I don't know how to turn back the clock on that.
Okay. Hey everyone, it's Julian Crypto, nothing here is financial advice, and this was Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett doubled down on his Bitcoin criticism, and calling it a gambling token with no intrinsic value. Despite praising blockchain technology, he has long been a skeptic of Bitcoin. So my question is, what are advantages and disadvantages of Bitcoin? And is Bitcoin useful for people right now? First of all, Bitcoin has no intermediaries. Bitcoin allows for transaction without the involvement of bank or other financial institutions. In my opinion, this is really important. Of course, disadvantages, you can say that, for example, it has high volatility. So the value of Bitcoin can rise and fall sharply, making it difficult to use as a mean of payment. Yeah, but it's still rising, and it's just a beginning of Bitcoin, in my opinion. Second advantage, as we can read on ChatGPT, it has low transaction fees. Yes, compared to traditional payments methods, fees for conducting Bitcoin transactions are generally much lower. For example, if we send $1 million of BTC to another wallet, we will pay only the same amount as we will send $10. So we'll pay only a few cents, or maximum $1 or a few dollars. Disadvantages: limited acceptance. Yes, it has limited acceptance, but it's at the beginning. Yeah, we are starting. Although more and more companies accept Bitcoin right now, it's still not widely accepted. But won't it be? Tell me in the comments. What is your opinion? Next advantage is fast and global transactions. Nevertheless, it's Sunday, Monday, or it's night or morning. Bitcoin is going instantly, regardless of location, regardless of time. Disadvantages. Association with illegal activity. Yeah, of course, association with illegal activity, but you know, isn't cash associated with illegal activity too? Isn't cash associated with darknet or with everything which is outside the law? Yeah, of course, Bitcoin is the money of the internet, and some people are using it for illegal activity. But in my opinion, and a second and sixth point, transparency and immutability. Bitcoin is totally transparent. The blockchain of which Bitcoin is based allows you to transparent data storage and checking transaction history. So basically, it's the opposite of association with illegal activity. Fourth, censorship resistance. The high decentralization of Bitcoin network makes it resistance to censorship or shutdown attempts. Great. And disadvantages, complicated for beginners. Of course, it's complicated right now, but as we said, we are at the beginning. Next, limited supply, and this is a big pro, because, for example, US dollar has unlimited supply, but the maximum amount of Bitcoin is $21 million, which may lead to an increase in value in the long term. Yes, it will. Also, some people can say high energy consumption, but if we compare it, in my opinion, to banks, banks are using energy too, and much more. We are paying for security with this high energy consumption. Risk of loss or theft. If we will send our private keys to somebody else, or if we will storage in our device which will be hacked, yes, it is not unsafe then. But if we will storage in a safe place, there is no power in this world which can store our funds right now. Privacy, to some extent. This is pros. Privacy. Bitcoin allows for transaction without revealing the identity of users, although it's not completely anonymous. Yeah, because we can if we will tell somebody that this wallet is ours, they know already, and they can follow our transactions. But until we will do it, we are basically anonymous. And the last, regulations and legal threats. Disadvantages? Yeah, of course, regulations. Yes, regulations right now, but basically Bitcoin is still becoming more and more regulated asset in the world. More countries are starting to accepting it. In my opinion, next 4 years, at least 3-4 countries maybe will start accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender, like it was in Salvador. Mark my words and check me in the next 3 or 5 years. Next is if. Remember, guys, nothing here is a financial advice, but we are talking about if. That if might be in a nice time to accumulate because of that fear zone. And yeah, it was great time to accumulate if. Look at this, if rises almost 4% to BTC just before the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade. It was nice time to buy emotions, but right now the emotions are high. So my question is it nice time to sell these emotions? Tell me in the comments what is your opinion. Next is FTX. So FTX tokens surged more than 126% after the exchange, and the company has recovered $7.3 billion in fiat and digital assets, increasing its efforts to recover users' funds. And FTT tokens and FTX potentially will relaunch, the attorneys said. This is big news. We are trying to follow such news here on Max Data and on our channels and inform you just after this kind of news will occur online. I will show you something in few minutes, but before I will talk about the Texas Senate that approves a bill capping incentives for crypto miners at 10% and removing tax abatement for certain data centers. And crypto advocacy groups call for opposition to the bill, which could lead to reduced revenue and companies reconsidering Texas as a home for mining operations. Not good info for Texas, of course, but for Bitcoin doesn't matter. And I told you about altcoins that are delisted from Binance. Yes, they were delisted from Binance Auto. Right now, minus 49% at maximum. Next is NUPL, maximum minus 63% since yesterday. Since yesterday, also QLC chain, minus 49% since our message to you. So basically, these tokens were falling. We were on our tools. Our tools basically gave you an automated alerts on this max data. So yes, if you had at least one of these tokens, you could save a lot of money because of max data. And also look at this token, which was also sent to you guys on Maximus Twitter bot, max data Twitter bot. Currently, it rose more than 20% since that tweet, that they had a market update, that they are pleased to announce that Gate.io has added XRD perpetuals to its marketplace. And yeah, the Twitter bot on Max Data called you directly and send you Telegram messages directly if you are using Twitter bot on Max Data. If you are using predefined rules on Max Data, if you, for example, used one of these rules, you can turn it on, you can start using it, and then receiving alerts, automated alerts. For example, every time Elon Musk will use word Doge or Dogecoin in his tweets, you will be notified. Every time Binance will delist something, you will be notified, etc., etc. So this is really important tools. Right now, it's tested by users of Tier 3 on Max Data. And right now, that's all. Thank you guys, and see you tomorrow. And remember to use different tools, not only Twitter, also news aggregator. It's aggregating in real time news from more than 100 websites right now and summarizing it using GBT language model. All right, thanks, guy, and as usual, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.